I'm going to show you the Satchel. The Satchel is designed to overcome a number of problems we face in transporting, distributing and printing our personal collection of documents. The Satchel is based upon PARC tab technology. The tab is a small, lightweight, portable computer that can be attached to the belt or carried in a handbag. It's equipped with a small bitmap screen that is touch sensitive. It has bidirectional infrared communication facilities and 3 buttons. At RXRC Cambridge, users can carry their PARC tabs from room to room and yet maintain contact with a network of stationary servers providing a wide variety of services. Satchel is just one of the services available to PARC tab users. Many hundreds of documents can be placed into the Satchel. This is because the Satchel only holds references or pointers to documents. The documents themselves are stored on a file server or on the user's personal workstation. Each document reference is represented as a one-line entry on the screen of a Satchel. Each entry starts with a tiny icon and finishes with the name of the document. Electronic documents are placed into a Satchel using a personal workstation, a Macintosh in our implementation. Satchel owners have a special small folder visible on the desktop of their Mac called a Satchel folder. This folder normally has a distinctive icon to distinguish it from the others on the desktop. The Satchel folder behaves like an ordinary Mac folder. However, any document dragged into the Satchel folder immediately appears on the screen of the tab Satchel. Similarly, any documents appearing on the tab Satchel screen also appear in the Satchel folder on the Mac desktop. Documents in the Satchel folder can be opened and edited in situ, or dragged out of the Satchel folder and onto the workstation desktop. Because the Satchel uses an IR wireless communication system, it's easy to discover which other IR devices are within its line of sight. Each one knows which room it's in at any instant, and which other Satchels are there with it. Each Satchel presents this context information to the user. It takes the form of additional entries on the Satchel screen. We must emphasize that these extra entries are not input by the user, but pop up automatically as the user moves around the building carrying the Satchel. So, for example, when Mike meets with Richard, an entry representing Richard appears in Mike's Satchel, and a corresponding entry representing Mike appears on Richard's. These extra lines are Satchel references. Each is a pointer to another Satchel. Satchel references provide a streamlined way for users to move documents between Satchels. For example, when Richard wants to hand a document to Mike, he simply drags it over Mike's Satchel and drops it in. At Mike's end, the document pops onto his screen. Mike can now hand it to someone else, print it, or copy it onto his workstation. Let's assume that Mike now wants to print the document. He takes his Satchel over to a printer, called Picador in this case. Printers can have Satchels too. So in this case, Picador's Satchel pops up on Mike's screen. Using a finger or a stylus, Mike selects a document and drags it over Picador's Satchel. Within a few seconds, Picador starts printing the document. These 3 examples show how at the office, Satchel can be loaded and unloaded, and how while away from the office, documents can be exchanged with other Satchel owners or output to a nearby printer. Notice how the use of context vastly simplifies the user interface by making it much easier to perform the obvious operations. Although Satchel is little more than a toy, we're intrigued by its simplicity and power.